Stop! Everyone stop what you're doing. This is about to be hilarious. Those were the first words that echoed through the massive aircraft hangar. Words sharp, enough to slice through the steady roar of engines warming up. Words dripping with the confidence of someone born into power, money, and untouchable arrogance. Her name was Valentina Sterling, the world-famous billionaire aviation queen, the ruthless CEO of Sterling Aerospace. She was the kind of woman who owned empires, broke companies like toys, and lived in headlines. She did not believe in limits or humility. And today she had an audience, dozens of engineers, investors, military officials, and camera crews gathered inside Hangar Douar for the unveiling of her newest creation, the Falcon X900, the most advanced experimental jet in the world. But no one expected the moment that would overshadow everything. Not the aircraft, not the contract, not the cameras flashing like strobe lights. No, everyone would remember something else. The moment Valentina mocked a black janitor in front of the world. His name was Aaron Cole. Quiet. Calm. A man who swept floors, emptied trash, and kept to himself. His navy blue jumpsuit said maintenance, but his eyes, deep, steady haunted, said something else. Something no one ever noticed. Valentina strutted toward him, with a grin that promised, "Cruelty, Aaron, right?" she asked loudly, making sure every camera turned. He barely looked up. "Yes, ma'am?" "Tell me," she said, raising her voice theatrically. "Have you ever flown anything bigger than a mop?" A wave of laughter. Cameras turned. Phones lifted. Aaron stood there, silent. "And since you're always staring at the Falcon X as if you understand it," she continued, "how about this?" She stepped closer. High heels clicking like a countdown. Red lipstick shaped into a smirk. "Fly this jet right now and I'll marry you on the spot." The hangar exploded with laughter. A billionaire woman offering marriage to a janitor because she was sure he would fail. Because she thought it was impossible. Because she thought she could humiliate him safely. Aaron finally raised his eyes. Not angry. Not scared. Just something different. Calmness so steady it unsettled the air. He spoke softly. "You're sure about that?" Valentina rolled her eyes. "Yes, and don't worry, no one expects you to actually do it." But as she turned away laughing, Aaron whispered, "You should have thought twice, because the secret he carried, the secret no one knew, was about to flip the world upside down." To the world, Aaron Cole was invisible. A janitor, a nobody, someone who pushed a broom through million-dollar hallways without being seen. But invisibility had become his protection, because 5 years ago, before the uniform, before the mop, before he became just the janitor, Aaron had lived a very different life. A life written in classified files, a life hidden behind black bars on government documents, a life whispered only in the corridors of elite military units. Lieutenant Commander Aaron Marcus Cole, U.S. Navy, top secret test pilot, one of the best aviators the military ever produced. He flew prototypes that never made it to the news. He operated missions that never reached the public. He soared in skies most pilots never knew existed. But greatness came at a cost. One stormy night, a mission went catastrophically wrong. A mechanical failure. A teammate lost. And though he survived, the military needed a scapegoat. Aaron was offered a choice: fight the system and lose everything, or disappear quietly. He disappeared. He took the only job that didn't require questions or explanations: maintenance at Sterling Aerospace. A place filled with the aircraft he once ruled. Aircraft he now cleaned. Some days he swept under wings he used to command. Some nights he stared up at jets on display, knowing he could fly them with his eyes closed. But he stayed silent, because silence kept him safe. Silence kept him alive. Silence kept others safe too. He had pressed the first domino, and everything was about to fall. "Stop him!" Valentina screamed, but no one moved. Engineers froze. Cameras zoomed in. Military officials stared, recognizing something in his posture, his confidence, his calm precision. Aaron climbed the access ladder with the ease of a man returning home. When he lowered himself into the cockpit, the moment felt surreal. Like a king reclaiming a throne everyone forgot he owned. He strapped in, fingers sliding across controls like a pianist returning to a beloved instrument. Systems hummed awake under his touch. The Falcon X's onboard AI blared, "Unauthorized personnel detected." Aaron typed a code, fast, precise, impossible for a janitor to know. The warning vanished. Gasps rippled across the hangar. Valentina's face drained of color. "How do you know that code?" Aaron didn't answer. Instead, he powered the jet. Engines ignited with a roar that shook the ground. The hangar filled with blinding white, exhaust, and the thunderous growl of raw power. Military officials looked at each other. One whispered, "He's not a janitor." "He's one of them!" Aaron spoke into the headset. "Control, this is Cole. Preparing for takeoff." The control tower crackled. "Commander Cole, but... Sir, is that really you?" Valentina's jaw dropped. Commander. Aaron lowered his visor. "Opening hangar doors." "No!" Valentina screamed. "Stop him!" But it was too late. The colossal hangar doors rolled open. Sunlight flooded the runway. The Falcon X-900 rolled forward. For the first time in years, Aaron's heart beat with purpose. He wasn't a janitor anymore. He wasn't the man they buried behind bureaucracy. He wasn't the invisible worker sweeping floors. He was a pilot, a legend, a ghost returning to life. The tower gave him clearance. "Commander Cole, runway is yours," he smiled. "Copy that." The engines roared. The jet accelerated. Wheels lifted, and with a thunderous cry that shook the earth, Aaron Cole soared into the sky. The crowd watched, open-mouthed, as he lifted the Falcon X into maneuvers so precise, so flawless, so breathtaking that even the generals muttered prayers under their breath. Barrel rolls, vertical climbs, G-force turns, a maneuver no pilot had ever dared attempt with the Falcon X. He not only flew it, he made it look easy. Then, with perfect grace, he landed the jet smoothly, as if he had flown it 1,000 times. When he stepped out, the entire hangar was frozen. Aaron removed his helmet, and the truth, so long buried, stood visible for the world to see. Valentina approached him slowly, her heels no longer clicking with arrogance. Now they trembled with something closer to fear. Who are you?" Aaron wiped sweat from his brow. "My name is Aaron Marcus Cole," he said calmly. "Former Navy test pilot. I flew classified aircraft long before you ever built this jet." Gasps, whispers, because you wanted every detail from pilots like me, but not us. Because the military threw me away after a mission glitch they blamed on me. He turned to face the generals. "And because all of you knew it..." The generals lowered their eyes. Valentina swallowed hard. You embarrassed me," she whispered. Aaron tilted his head. "Embarrassed you? You challenged a man you didn't know. You mocked me because of my job. But your biggest mistake wasn't underestimating me. It was assuming worth comes from wealth." Her face flushed. "I didn't mean..." "Yes," Aaron interrupted softly. "You did." The cameras zoomed in. This wasn't a humiliation anymore. This was a reckoning. A billionaire exposed. A pilot reborn. A truth unveiled. Valentina clenched her fists. "You think this makes you special? You think this makes you better than me?" Aaron stepped closer. "No, it just makes me free." She stared, confused. "Free from pretending. Free from fear. Free from people like you deciding my value." She looked shaken for the first time in her life. The generals approached. "Commander Cole, the government owes you an apology and more. We want to reinstate you, immediately." Valentina's eyes widened. "What? After he hijacked my jet?" "He didn't hijack it," the general replied. "He proved it works." Aaron chuckled softly. "I'm not coming back," he said gently. "I'm done flying for people who see pilots as tools." The general nodded reluctantly. And as she walked beside him, the camera of the world watching quietly from afar, a simple truth settled between them. Respect is worth more than riches. Dignity flies higher than jets. And sometimes the people we overlook are the ones who soar the highest.